welcome to Jellyroll Friday. What's up, my friends, my family, my MAGA fam? What's up? Kelly all day. Thank you, my love. Thank you for reposting this stream. You guys get in here, post up. Let's talk about some stuff because there's always, as usual, in these crazy, exciting times, something to squawk about. Let's get straight to it. What up, Polo J? Oh my God, it's so amazing. I miss doing this. I used to do it all the time when I had a Periscope and YouTube, the old YouTube channel before Susan Wojcicki and Sundar Pichai nuked my YouTube channel. I lost all of that. Everything that I had done from 2009 to 2018, I think it was, when they deleted my channel. Pity. Miss Kelly, I am still here, rolling with Rush, girl, rolling with Rush. What's up, Miss Sherry? Hey, y'all. Hey, let's get into this. Let's just start. I pray you guys are doing all right, ready to go into the weekend, baby. Until we get there, we gonna do a little recap of the past week and some news that's going on today. President Trump and our wonderful cabinet, our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, God bless that man. I tell you what, destroyed the 10th, another drug boat. Thank you, Miss J Mom. I don't know if she's in here yet, but thank you, my darling, for letting me know that, because I haven't seen that yet. I was talking to my daughter. She is just got off work and is, she has to do her mom check-in. She knows I gotta know where she is, and golly, something else. They never really leave home. Always my babies. So gotta keep a grip on it. Yeah, another drug boat. Let's just bring this in here and start talking about this. We're just gonna dig in, y'all. We're just gonna get it popping. We're gonna get it popping up in here. We're gonna get it popping. Let me find it. Now, where in the heck did it go? I synced it. I just synced it. Oh, there it is. I synced it. This is USNI News. And we have headline: U.S. military strikes 10th suspected narco boat, killing 6. They dead. Bye. I don't know why y'all keep trying this. I don't know why y'all keep sending these boats full of poison to the United States. We have a crime infestation in this country. We have a drug infestation in this country that has been decades long. President Trump is working his ass off to clean the streets up, get the drugs off the streets, and these bastards have spent their entire pathetic existence building their cartelos and their cartel empires off the backs of American citizens. It has been going on since even before the days of Pablo Escobar. Colombia is back on the map, doing more shit and bringing more poisons into this country. The U.S. military destroyed a suspected drug smuggling vessel. No, it is. I mean, you can do all the legal gymnastics you want, but when you are in a speedboat going 80 miles an hour on the water trying to evade the U.S. Coast Guard and the international and American authorities, you is not in a damn. I know the crank far left and the Democrats have tried to say, oh my God, these are fishing boats. No, dumbass. Since when do you need two twin turbo 350 boat engines, 2 engines. President Trump said like 5 engines on these boats. So you got to figure 350 horsepower for each of those boats. You got some serious horsepower going on. So know what? We is not go. I'm saying it ghetto. We is not gonna waste time chasing your monkey ass across the water and risk hitting a dolphin or something and trying to chase you. No, bitch, we gonna blow you up out the water. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna just blow you up because there's no reason for you to be speeding 80, 90, 100 miles an hour or 100 knots or however this goes on the water. I know it's a little different, but you're not speeding when how are you fishing and you going 100 miles an hour on the damn water? You gonna run over all the damn fish. You is not fishing. I said that ghetto again. You is not fishing. You are trying to get to the US for your drop off point to hurry up, get the drugs off the boat or the submarine, as Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said in the roundtable just the other day when President Trump called his cabinet members together. By the way, I love when he does that. Pete Hegseth got kind of dispelled all these stupid media propaganda stories saying, well, these are fishing submarines. How the hell you fish from a submarine? Do you know how stupid that sounds? It's enclosed on all sides. What, you're underwater? Why you can't fish underwater? Democrats are stupid. They're literally dumb. That's why we can't take these people seriously. We just have to shut them up. When y'all bringing these damn drug boats over here to kill more of our citizens, we gonna just blow your monkey ass out the water. Ain't nobody talking, ain't nobody pulling you over because you're going too damn fast. You're evading capture, and now you are a fugitive. So we're just gonna have to handle business. Okay, nobody's talking anymore. We're done talking. We talked for decades. You had the drug wars and you had all of these drugs coming over here since Pablo Escobar started dropping all this coke into the US, making the Colombians rich as hell. We floated and propped up their entire GDP with drug money. Excuse you. We're done talking to you. U.S. forces carried out a quote legal. Yep, I said it. Freudian slip, but I'm right. Lethal kinetic strike on the boat overnight. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who does not have to explain one thing to any of you people because you're retarded. We don't have to explain one damn thing to any of you. It is none of your business, and you're not going to know when it's coming. We don't discuss matter of high security like they did with all the leaks from the Obama administration, the Bush administration, and the Hindu Horus and the Shady Pines resident. We don't do that shit here. We don't have 80 million leaks from the Pentagon with the media. We don't do that here. Pete Hegseth said in a post on X, it was the 10th such strike, which is none of your fucking business. We don't have to tell you one damn thing, especially with military operations. It is none of your business until after the mission is complete. You are not going to compromise the mission with your stupid little Sodom and Gomorrah, Jezebel, whore media, ass media. We're not doing that. Why? So y'all can call your contacts in Mexico and Venezuela and Colombia and tip them off as to where the American strike is coming from? Because you would. He said the vessel was operated by Tren de Aragua, that is Venezuela, which the Trump administration designated as a terrorist organization. The boat was in the Caribbean at the time of the strike. But the country of origin is unclear. While Tren de Aragua originated in Venezuela, the transnational criminal organization operates across Latin America and in other parts of the world. There is a bunch of them that has been here in Colorado. You know the story. You've seen the apartment takeovers. It wasn't just that one, by the way, it was several apartment complexes. People are still rebuilding their lives after Tren de Aragua disrupted the city of Aurora, the city of Lakewood, the city of Thornton. They were all over Denver. They were all over Colorado Springs. They were all across Colorado. They were even up in Carbondale and Aspen. Don't remind me, and I'll bring that story up. Yeah. They were up in the mountain towns in the wealthy, affluent Aspen area. That shit got nipped in the bud, but they did go up there because that's where the money is. Gee, why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Duh. Pete Hegseth goes on to say, quote, the vessel was known by our intelligence to be involved in illicit narcotics smuggling, was transiting along a known narco trafficking route and carrying narcotics, he wrote. 6 male narco terrorists were aboard the vessel during the strike, which was conducted in international waters and was the first strike at night. See, they tried to go nocturnal and they still got blasted. Screw you all. Ask me if I give one shite about the poor drug dealers. I don't. Excuse you, I don't. My this is just one of my daughter's dear friends died alone in a bathtub from a fentanyl overdose. Tub full of water. She didn't drown. Her head was above water. That's what my daughter has to remember about one of her dearest friends. And she's not the only friend that has died of drug overdoses over her very young life. She has had so many friends lost to fentanyl and drug overdoses. Fuck the cartels and fuck everybody who is trying to protect them. We don't care. I 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 don't care. Oh my God. Yeah. Stop sending your shit over here. And maybe we'll stop blowing it up. Go to Europe. Go to Europe and try to sell it. Oh yeah, Europe is broke. Yeah, Germany's broke. They bought into all the Green New Deal bull crap. And they bet the house on the Green New Deal. They bet the house on green energy and wind energy. And now they're bankrupt. They shut down all of their nuclear plants, their coal plants, gone. They have been completely reliant on wind and solar, which is really stupid because Germany is not a sunny country like, oh, I don't know, Ecuador. Germany is cold and dank and dark most of the time. I don't know. For immer Deutschland. Stupid is as stupid does. Oh my God. Oh, we got to just talk briefly about, remember President Trump's meme that he posted the other day, dumping crap on Harry Sisson and a bunch of people, and the Democrats freaked out. Oh, he's dumping crap on Americans, blah, blah, blahdy, blase, blahdy, blase, blah, blah. I'm so offended. And the song that was used in the video, what in the meme was Highway to the Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins from the famous movie Top Gun. Great movie, and the follow-up was great. With back in, I don't know, 2023, 2022, 23. They actually did a really, really fantastic job. In fact, I'll watch that again. I might watch it tonight. Why not? I have no social life, so I don't care. But Kenny Loggins, who wrote the song and performed the song for the movie Top Gun, was offended, and it ordered and demanded that that song be taken out of the meme. Kenny Loggins, you're a has-been. You had some great songs, I will admit that. You have some great songs from back in the day, but you have not, to my knowledge, you have not put out a song in 20 years. So imagine, because it's a meme and because it's geared toward the younger culture, you got a bunch of Gen Zers who are listening to the song thinking, dang, this song is kind of rad. I kind of like it. I think I'll put it on my Spotify or on my Apple iTunes. So instead of being an asshole because you're a dried up ass has been who has not put out a hit song in 30 years, you should have actually called or sent a word to thank President Trump for using your song, which I do like. Highway to the Danger Zone. I like the movie Top Gun. It was very appropriate. It fit. And instead of whining because you're trying to appease the crank far left, because I'm sure they went to Kenny Loggins, what are you going to do about this? Oh my God, I will endlessly mock the crank far left because they're out of their minds. They're psychotic. And they want you to be psychotic right along with them. And we are not going in that direction. So I will mock them endlessly. So they probably went to Kenny Loggins. What are you going to do about that? Say, here's your song. So he hurry up and said something. You should have just stayed quiet. The president did you a favor playing your song in his video. He could have used Tom McDonald's new song, which Tom McDonald, he tried to stay uninvolved for a long time, but Tom McDonald has been like, fuck this. I'm going full MAGA, bro. I'm done with these liberals. I am done. And now he's just MAGA all day, bro. And I love it. Tom McDonald offered, Mr. President, you can use my song. And, you ain't gonna get no qualms about that from me. And his song has actually gone to #1 on Apple iTunes already. And it's current, Kenny Loggins. Highway to the Danger Zone. There was no such thing as Apple iTunes when you made that song. There was only like Billboard Top 100. Nobody even gives a shit. Does that even still happen anymore? Billboard 100. Does that happen? I don't even know if that's still a thing. They got so many other top 10, top 50, top 100. Nobody cares about all that old shit Kenny Loggins is talking about, bro. But you ought to thank the president. So anyway, Tom McDonald is self-made. He started making his own videos with his wife. Was his girlfriend, now it's his wife. They made their own videos for little or nothing. He was broke AF, and now he's a millionaire, and I love it. They were broke like 7 years ago, had nothing. But he had a dream, and he chased it, and he caught it, and he made it his own, and we are proud of Tom McDonald. And by the way, he is MAGA, and every song that he posts makes the Apple iTunes top #1. They all go #1, and it's not woke. In fact, he is destroying woke in his way with with music, and it's amazing. We've already won the culture war. These Democrats are shit. Nobody likes them. They smell bad. They have horrible breath. They're ugly. They're fat. They're stupid. They can't run a lemonade stand, much less a city, a district, a county, a state, a country. They're insane. They're psychotic. They don't, they hate America. They hate MAGA. They hate Western values that this country was founded on. They hate everything about America, but yet they want to stay in America because this is the land of milk and honey. See, this is the land of milk and honey. Nowhere else on earth is better than America. Dead ass. It's not even close. And everybody knows it. Why do you think there were 50 million fucking illegals that broke into our country over the last 4 years? Anyway, Tom McDonald, we appreciate you offering to use your song in that Mimi. Shit on Kenny Loggins. You want to be stupid? Get woke, you will go broke. Anyway, just had to chime in on that interesting little thing. I'm marking that off my list to talk about. Oh God. Let's talk about Respucia. You know who I'm talking about. The big bremolo of the day. Letitia James, Respucia. She was arraigned today, and she walks out. Ugh, ugh, Lord. She's so big it hurts her to walk with her big ass cankles. Bitch, I'm in the gym bench pressing and pulling down weights and kicking ass, and I'm gonna make fun of your big ass, you bremolo. I love when the Viceroy, Mike Davis, makes fun of her. He is relentless. I love him. He is with the Article 3 Project. Follow him on X. He is hilarious. Brother Mike Davis. He will keep you laughing. But he is extremely serious, and he has worked tirelessly with those who are now in President Trump's cabinet. And they are really making a difference. So he makes fun of Big Tish. He calls her Big Tish. I call her Respucia with her big ass. No, but she's so big it hurts to walk. You know, she come out of the courtroom and she acting like, oh, she's such a victim. Oh, but this is not about me. This is about all of us. No, bitch, it's about you. Don't wrap me up in that. I cancel you in the name of Jesus, you big bremolo. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Your mortgage fraud for years since the early 90s has literally nothing to do with me. Don't include me. You do not represent me just because you are an FBA. You ain't, your troubles are your own. You ain't, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I put some garlic out for your ass, you big hoe. Yeah, pretty interesting times. Oh, we got more news stories we gotta get to. My God, it's something else. Look, oh well, yeah, here we go. Gonna talk a little bit about some Colorado news. Let me bring this in because I don't miss an opportunity to mock and ridicule and make fun of this individual who I call Squishy. He is a big, just an absolute letdown, a big squishy fool who has now, because he took part along with the losers in the state of Colorado, Mayor of Denver, Mike Johnston, the little tight pants wearing freak from Vail, Colorado, who has never missed a meal because he is a little rich soy boy. By the way, Vail, you don't live in Vail unless you are rich. Period. End of story. Or unless you work for Vail Resorts. I worked for Vail Resorts for a while. One of my favorite jobs ever. Because I got a free ski pass for the year. Those passes are like $1,300, and mine was free. I could go to any ski resort owned by Vail Resorts and the affiliate partners anywhere in the world for free. That's one of the perks and benefits of working for Vail Resorts. I loved it. I loved meeting all the people. But anyway, Mike Johnston is from Vail. And all of those who stood by and watched Colorado crumble over the last 4 years, and they bet the house on the Hindu Horus, Kamala Harris. They thought that Joe Biden was going to win. And when he crapped out on live broadcast in front of the entire world in July of 2024, they were like, oh, shit. So you mean we might not get that bailout, huh? Yeah. And here is the result from Jared Polis, who is trying also desperately to get what is known as the gay games to Colorado, because once again, Colorado is broke AF. He says on X, healthcare is too important to be caught in political gridlock. Losing ACA tax credits would mean massive premium hikes for thousands of Coloradans. Families shouldn't have to choose between keeping their coverage and paying their bills. We need Congress to act now. You will never be president, you squishy fool. Stop trying to pretend that you're in the middle and that you're centrist. You are not. You are a Marxist. Just like the rest of them, you are a Marxist. You're not as far left as some of those who sit in the Colorado legislature, like who's her name? Zora Yoki, and who's that other one? Oh my gosh, what is her name? I'll think of it in a minute, but she also is one of the most radical who posted on X a few weeks ago, I am Antifa. Oh, Lorena Garcia. That's another one. She's not really on X anymore. Of course, she went to her safe space on Blue Sky, but you know, President Trump invaded Blue Sky, so I really appreciate that. Anyway, this squishy fool, after giving, wasting millions, over $1 billion in caring for illegal aliens, now he remembers Coloradans. Now he remembers tax-paying Colorado citizens. It's too late. We don't want nothing to do with you. We want your fat ass out of office because you're useless. So Coloradans are speaking out about what affordable care tax credits mean to them as concerns grow and the federal government shutdown continues. Look, let's just keep this 100 concerning these healthcare ACA, aka Obamacare subsidies. JD Vance is on Blue Sky. Oh my gosh, I got to go over there. I've been avoiding it, but since all of the federal agencies have a presence on Blue Sky now, making the liberals' heads blow up, I think I might have to just go ahead and invade their safe space because I can. And I'm just going to immediately start posting a bunch of racist shit. And I'm going to be like, oh yeah, relax, I'm black, bitch. Because that's how I rock and roll, baby. I love rock and roll. So put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I don't need to go to a party. Right? I don't need all that loud music and people bumping into you and stepping on my kicks. I don't need all that mess. I can't stand being around drunk folks anyway. Maybe I shouldn't run for office because ain't nothing but a bunch of drunk bastards in that sphere. Um. Anyway, the ACA or Obamacare, which is death care, which is why I visit my daughter in a cemetery, is because Obamacare is socialist medicine. American citizens were not strapped for cash concerning healthcare until Obama, the Prince of Darkness, showed up and introduced the Obamacare nightmare, written by let's see, Emmanuel, but his brother was the architect of Obamacare. It's the same shit Zoran Mamdani is talking about. As long as they can say, well, everybody has health care. Yeah, but when you have to wait behind 1.5 million other people for a procedure that you've already been waiting on for 2 years, go look at the videos of people in Canada who talk about the health care there. And Americans who are dumb think that places like Western Europe or Canada are the model. Oh, at least they have free healthcare. Yeah, but you ain't going to the doctor until you pretty much dead. If you die, then they might have an appointment for you. Otherwise, don't even bother, because you're on the list behind 1 million other people. You're never going to get in. Kelly all day. I would love to, but the GOP in Colorado is that they have a big club. They just have their own little favorites. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I am gonna have some meetings coming up. I would like to unseat. I don't know. Maybe Michael Bennett. Or he can. My really ultimate goal. It would be carpetbagging, but. The 14-term Democrat in the 1st district, I wanted to unseat her for a very long time. I don't know. We'll see. But ACA, their healthcare subsidies. There are roughly 25 million people on the healthcare or ACA, which is the Obamacare subsidies. ACA. Roughly 25 million people who are on that program. Back when this was being written into law, when it was being legislated in Congress, Obamacare was said. They said Obama and those who helped to write it, like Mitt Romney, also had a lot to do with constructing Obamacare because he had something called Romney Care. Same shit. Hillary, she had written something previously, another socialist healthcare system. Obama is the one who pushed it through. He shut down the government over Obamacare, by the way. He shut down the government over Obamacare and getting Congress, the Republicans in Congress, to pass Obamacare. So while y'all whining and squawking and talking out the side of your neck about President Trump, yeah, Obama shut down the entire government over Obamacare. Yeah, he did. So, but no, if you want your doctor, if you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. You can absolutely you can keep your doctor. No, you can't keep your doctor. I couldn't back then. My doctor jumped ship and stopped practicing medicine because Obamacare, the ACA, and the giant subsidies only went to the University of Colorado healthcare system. Everything is now pretty much under Kaiser Permanente or Salud if you're an illegal, or University of Colorado, the big gargantuan that gets all the federal subsidies, is UC Health, University of Colorado, by the way. You should see the huge college, the huge campuses, medical parks, and medical hospitals, children's hospitals, neighborhood urgent cares, all from UC Health. They have gotten billions of dollars in subsidies over the years since 2012. This horrifying death care system, sick care system, has been a bane of existence. People who used to have a family of, 4 or 5, whatever, used to, your healthcare premiums ran maybe $1,300 per year under your private insurance. And over the years since the ACA and Obamacare took over, your healthcare subsidies, your premiums went up to over $13,000, $15,000 a year. How much do you pay, for your healthcare? Because it's horrifying. I hear the horror stories of people who are who have like private health insurance, Kaiser Permanente, UC Health. They are making so much money on sick care. Why do you think RFK is working so hard to implement MAHA and making America healthy again? Because see, the Democrats are screaming about, the shutdown. They shut down the government over the ACA subsidies and over illegal alien health care because the subsidies cover the illegals. Okay, so the ACA subsidies, that when they went head to head in Congress, when this shit was getting implemented, the Republicans told these Democrats, you said this was not a tax. It's absolutely a tax. When you are forced to have it, everybody was forced to have medical care. It was on the IRS 1040 form. Yes, it was a damn tax. Why is it on a tax form if it's not a tax? It just defies logic that people couldn't get this. So when they went head to head and were like, the Republicans were like, hey man, this is unaffordable. You're calling this the Affordable Care Act. Well, at least everybody will have insurance. Yeah, but it's socialist medicine. Those who are the highest earners, income earners, are paying for the entire country to have health care, even if they don't use it. So a small business owner, and I know because I've known small business owners throughout the years, and they have complained about the ACA. A family of, at the time, it was just 3 people. Somebody that I knew back then who owned a small business building custom homes. And he used to just scream at the top of his lungs about how his healthcare premiums for one dude, one wife, and one child, $1,900 a month. 1,900, and they never used it. They didn't use it. They barely used it for doctor's visits, emergency room visits, or anything. And the deductible was like $10,000. So don't have anything catastrophic happen, or you better be able to come up out your pocket with 10 grand out the gate, or you ain't gonna get seen. We'll leave you out on the front doorstep and hand you about 3 Motrins. Good luck. Obamacare is set to run out. The Republicans told the Democrats, okay, let's come to an agreement to get the government running again. This was back when Obama shut down the government over Obamacare. The Republicans said, okay, we got to have a time limit on this shit. You can't just do this in perpetuity. You're going to bankrupt the country. Fine. Democrats said, fine. So those subsidies are nearing their end. And now Chuck Schumer has realized, oh shit. So now they're blaming it on the Republicans again. Customarily, that's what they do. They never take any responsibility themselves. They knew that this system was unsustainable, but they did it anyway. And now they're blaming the Republicans. They're blaming President Trump for stealing your health care or not caring about your health care. No, it's them. It's them. Other people are using the medical exchanges. They have their own private healthcare, health insurance, but to those who have the Obamacare subsidies, those are the illegals. So that's why when you hear conservatives talk about how the Democrats are shutting down the government to help illegals, they are. When these subsidies go bye-bye, they're cooked. They're cooked. I put water, fresh squeezed lemons. I think I've told you this before, and fresh mint in my water. It's just delightful. You have to have water out here. It is especially, this is arid, high mountain desert climate, and it is so dry out here. You have to sleep with water next to your bed. At least I do. But anyway, the healthcare subsidies are getting ready to run out. Obamacare is just on the brink of. Ugh. Let it run out. Let it run out. It's socialism. It's socialized medicine. It's sick care. It's death care. So anyway, that's the deal with that whole thing. And the Democrats are trying to get people to believe that it's the Republicans that are stealing their health care. It's not. It's them. They're trying to keep their Obamacare subsidies, but the system is pretty much bankrupt. So just a little bit more on that note. So you see the ridiculousness of what is going on in Colorado. I'll bring this in. We won't belabor this issue because we talked about it quite a bit. Polis on Wednesday announced he is requesting millions of dollars in emergency funds to help food banks feed Coloradans who rely on SNAP benefits after state officials said those benefits would not come in November due to the government shutdown. So he wants $10 million out the gate, supposedly for the food banks, because the food banks are going to be overrun. Maybe you shouldn't have spent all the money on illegals, Squishy. Maybe you should not have spent all the money and bet the house on illegals. And now the illegals are getting deported, and they're self-deporting. As I have seen, they're getting on the buses and they're driving down I-25, heading south toward Mexico, back to Chihuahua and wherever the hell they're from. Good riddance. Get the fuck out. I think this is kind of the same thing. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that story in. More sickening Colorado news, and Colorado better pray with all these churches around here that God himself does not bring judgment upon this centennial state. Let me bring this in to show you how ratchet these Democrats that I just mentioned, the Colorado legislature, new Colorado abortion center kills babies in abortions up to birth for, quote, for any reason. Yeah, you read that right. New Colorado abortion center kills babies in abortions up to birth for any reason. If you are a woman, excuse me, no, you're not a woman. If you walk into an establishment with the full intent on infanticide, murdering your baby, the procedure costs over $35,000, by the way. And the Democrats are getting them funded through Medicare, or they have been, or Medicaid, excuse me. What a sick, disgusting bunch of Marxist devils are in this state. Unbelievable. Oh, but they want to keep failing up. Absolutely horrific. Absolutely freaking horrific. The state of Colorado. Oh, interesting. Okay, and one more Colorado story. Since we are talking a little bit about Colorado, because they're in the news quite a bit lately. Just briefly on this headline, the thing, once again, the Democrats say never happened again. Castle Rock woman convicted of voter fraud for casting ballots for late ex-husband and son. This dumb bitch was filling out ballots for her son and her late son and late husband, Elizabeth Ann Davis, 61, a likely Democrat white liberal kook, was convicted Wednesday of 2 counts of forgery and 1 count of impersonating an elector for submitting mail ballots for them in the 2022 general election. Voter fraud is generally rare and detectable since the nation's election processes provide many safeguards, according to, let me stop reading that. That's some bullshit right there. But for the sake of conversation, I want to pay close attention to what this says here. Impersonating an elector for submitting mail ballots. Mail ballots. What is President Trump going to do with regard to an executive order coming up very, very, very soon? I think I reposted, I posted that on X, and I really pray that somebody in the Trump administration sees that. These mail-in ballots have been absolutely the way that Democrats have used to cheat for decades. And it would be fantastic if he could write that executive order at least close enough to the midterms that all bets are off the table. I am sure that with that announcement being made, these Democrats in Colorado, like the so-called Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, is freaking out. I already got my mail-in ballot for Colorado. I'm going to take the time to sit down and fill it out and I'll return it. I may do early return, but I don't mail. I have never ever in life mailed my ballot. Never, never. I've been voting since I was 18. I never mail my ballot. Somehow I just knew even then. I'm not mailing my ballot. That's stupid. How am I supposed to prove who I am? I don't want some illegal diluting my vote. That's been happening in Colorado for years. I want to go into the voting booth and cast my ballot in person. Thank you, Haba Mom. Thank you for reposting the stream, my darling. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got to talk about Somalia is not Wakanda. Countries collapse without USAID. It is very important to talk about this because since February of this year, first with President Trump's executive order, since he started the dismantling to bring down and destroy the entire diseased, corrupt system on their heads. USAID is one of the linchpins. This is why Norm Eisen has been freaking out. This is why Mark Elias has been freaking out. He can barely get it together no more. I swear that dude looks just dude. Why does Mark Elias bear such a strong resemblance to Rachel Levine? Have y'all ever noticed that? Have y'all ever noticed how Mark Elias bears a striking resemblance to Rachel Levine? Is it just me? Hold on. Let's see. Okay. National Women's History Museum, Rachel Levine. This is a fucking dude. But whatever. This is the ridiculousness of the last 4 years. This image right here, we were told to believe. Hold on, I got to bring it in so you can see. We were told real quick to believe that this was a woman. That we were told to believe 100% that this was a woman. Hold on. Good God Almighty. Okay, that's enough of that. But you saw that picture of Rachel Levine, right? Okay, now tell me, I'm not going to take the time to do them side by side, but okay, here it is. Is that a video or just like? Okay, hang on, real quick, and then we're moving on to the big stories. How does that not look like Rachel Levine? That looks just like Rachel Levine. I'm telling you, they might be the same person. I don't know, but there's some weird shit going on. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the primary stories that that matter is Somalia is not Wakanda. I say that in jest, and I'll do more of those Somalia is not Wakanda shows, because what I'm saying with that is Somalia is poor AF. Wakanda, as we saw in the Marvel Comics movies, was this beautiful, thriving country that was just full of this thing, a natural resource called vibranium. What a cute name. It's just darling. But Wakanda was this mystical place of like African tribe, this African tribe that was very wealthy. They were very well-trained fighters, and they had very formidable warriors, and the country was just beautiful. Everything was lush green, and they also were tech savvy, and they had this beautiful way they manufactured and mined vibranium that helped the Marvel heroes to defeat God, the I can't remember his name, and I actually enjoyed Marvel until it got really weird. Thanos. That was, I guess, Gamora's father. Anyway, Somalia is not Wakanda. Wakanda was wealthy beyond belief. Somalia is broke AF. And apparently it's done gotten broker over the last 10 months because the USAID funding stopped. Let me find it. First of all, let's talk about, well, here, we'll talk about this first. No, it's this one, sorry. Somalia is a country that is, I think it was formed here. Let's just read it. Country facts about Somalia. The original settlers of the Somali region were ethnic Kushites from the fertile lakes of southern Ethiopia. This group is subdivided into a number of other ethnicities, which are still readily recognized and fought over today. Archaeological evidence supports the idea that most of the coastline of present-day Somalia has been settled by AD 100. So Somalia has been around since the days Jesus walked the earth. Okay, 100 AD. The Somalis lived under Ethiopian domination for a century or so. However, starting around 1530, under charismatic leadership of Imam Ahmed Brahim, they retaliated. It just goes on. But we're talking about the 1500s. We're talking about during the 1300s. The future city of Mogadishu came to prominence as a favorite, quote, party town for Arab sailors in the 1300s, bro. That is the 14th century. Okay? Okay? Why is Somalia such a failure? Why is Somalia under such duress without USAID? Girl, Kelly, Somalia is broke AF. They are broke. That's why you think Ilhan Omar is panicked right now. And she has been panicked all year since USAID shut down because she said that she works for Somalia. That is her country. That is the country she loves. That is what she considers her country. She said she is in America to fight for Somalia. Check this out. This is a Sidra Institute released a policy brief 2025 August. The USAID funding freeze and its implications for humanitarian aid in Somalia, a wake-up call for aid dependency. Hello, spelled it out in the title. This is by Abdi Omar Bail and Muhammad Ali Salad. The U.S. aid suspension has created an immediate humanitarian crisis in Somalia, disrupting essential services and halting new project obligations within days of the January 2025 executive order. Somalia faces a funding loss of $183.36 million, affecting food security, health, nutrition, education, WASH, I don't know what that is, protection, and research programs nationwide. Like, bro, you have built, this is a very interesting policy brief, and I am going to actually keep that so that I can read a lot more into it. The need is so dire that they took a 10-page in-depth deep dive into all of the problems that the USAID money being taken away have and will cause the country of Somalia. Look at this. Look at this. There's a graph. Here we are. This figure 2, top providers of humanitarian aid to Somalia. Of course, 49% is the USA. Of course, taxpayers. Other humanitarian donors, 30%. The EU, only 5%. The UK, only 7%. Germany, only 10%. This is according to Aid Information Management Systems, or AIMS. Bro, y'all have built your entire freaking economy and GDP on the backs of American taxpayers. So Somalia, y'all just thought that in perpetuity, American taxpayers were going to just support y'all's ass. I mean, that doesn't even include all the Somali pirates that you sent to America to live in Minnesota, who have been stealing and robbing us blind through the fake programs known as Feeding Our Future. And God knows what else, how many other schemes that were cooked up by the Somalis. And thank God, do you know DHS Secretary Kristi Noem went to Minneapolis just this past week and did a press conference. And she talked about how they are now targeting all these Somali schemes because these bastards have been stealing and robbing from us blind while we were still sending all those wire transfers via USAID to keep their country propped up from fucking collapsing. You didn't have another plan. You disgust me. All of you. Here we go again, according to the Washington Compost. It's not just Somalia. It's everywhere across the world. Headline, this was 1 February 2025. Funding freeze thrusts foreign aid groups into crisis. Y'all's only foreign countries have been so dependent on American taxpayer money. You wonder why American taxpayers have been so broke for decades. Perpetually, it just kept climbing the level of brokenness. We have been funding the entire fucking planet. And it disgusts me that Democrats are screeching about how it's not humanitarian and it's not Christian and it's not this and not that. We are not supposed to fund countries that have been in existence since the days Jesus walked the earth. We are only 250 years old as of next July 4th, 2026. Development organizations that program and deliver billions of dollars in U.S. humanitarian aid warn they may have to shut down. Yet they've already been shutting down. The Trump administration's decision to impose a far-reaching freeze on U.S. foreign aid programs has thrust humanitarian and development organizations into crisis, prompting the layoff or furloughing of thousands of workers and mass panic as aid groups warn they may have to shut down. Quote, if we see another few months like the week we just saw, it will collapse the U.S. global aid sector. That was back in February, said Jeremy Kondik, president of Refugees International, an aid group that does not receive U.S. funding. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Quote, it's a national security toolkit that has been developed over 60 years. And if it's destroyed, it cannot be easily rebuilt. You sanctimonious son of a bitch. So while American citizens get to sit here and suffer, paying high costs for literally everything just to barely survive, this bastard says something that is so profoundly narcissistic and selfish. I cannot even believe he said this. It's a national security toolkit that has been developed for over 60 years. If it's destroyed, it cannot easily be rebuilt. That translation means that the world has depended on American citizens, American taxpayers, to fund the world. You know what? I voted for this. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'll just cuss. I voted for everything that is happening right now. I am completely pleased with President Trump the last 10 months. I just, there are things we would never have known had the Doge team, Elon Musk, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. He literally went on X. He did a video just this past week saying he has uncovered information that these contrails have been dumped on American citizens and dumped on this country for decades. He confirmed it. So those of us who have been talking about the chemtrails and the contrails for years and called conspiracy theorists, he said, no, it's actually happened. And he's going to be very transparent about what it's done. And they're going to stop it. Oh, yeah, but vote Democrat, right? So they can keep lying to us and poisoning us. But when we see other countries who don't want to deal with things like mass migration, You don't hear a peep about it, because nobody else has been playing the videos that I have and that have been talking about this. Check this shit out. I told you I was going to be playing a lot of these videos, and every time I see them, I am going to bring you in on the knowledge so you can share it around, because that's why God has blessed me to continue to do this. Mexico arrests migrants who invaded abandoned homes and buildings. Interesting. Very interesting.
That migrants have arrived and already begun to invade parks, homes, and are trying to escape from the National Guard, and there are others.
He throws it and we throw it. He throws it and we throw it.
We are pure, that they won't let us pass from. Here in Mexico, there he is, son of a, I don't know who they see there. They want to give money to poor immigrants.
The migration crisis in Mexico has exploded like never before. Thousands of migrants from Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and other Central and South American countries have settled in key cities such as Ciudad Juarez, Tapachula, Mexico City, and Tijuana, occupying abandoned homes and building half buildings.
I arrived at this place because the shelters were overwhelmed. The only way to enter a shelter is if you have to have family. Migrants are frustrated and continue to arrive day after day in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, where the shelters are full. Now they seek shelter in buildings in poor condition and have even begun to invade abandoned buildings. In Tralpan, operations arrested Venezuelan, Dominican, and Mexican invaders who were threatening elderly people in order to steal their homes.
One of them threatened me and told me he was going to kill me. He told me, "I'll stab her right now and grab her and get out of here."
Wait a minute. So this is what they were doing here in Aurora, Colorado. And the Colorado officials like squishy Governor Jared Polis and Mike Johnston and Hickenlooper and Michael Bennett and Jason Crow and all of these white liberal Marxist assholes here in Colorado, when Tren de Aragua from Venezuela were taking over apartment complexes and moving into empty homes, they said that it's all fine. It's in your imagination. But yet here I see this video, they're doing it in Mexico. Listen to that again.
Shelter is if you have to have family. Migrants are frustrated and continue to arrive day after day in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, where the shelters are full. Now they seek shelter in buildings in poor condition and have even begun to invade abandoned buildings. In Tralpan, operations arrested Venezuelan, Dominican, and Mexican invaders who were threatening elderly people in order to steal their homes.
One of them threatened me and told me he was going to kill me. He told me, "I'll stab her right now and grab her and get out of here." Just 15 days ago, they stung someone here and they hurt and stung each other. What began as a temporary influx has turned into an uncontrolled invasion that generates daily tension between locals and foreigners. Authorities report mass arrests, but the problem is growing. They invaded our streets, sidewalks, and entrances to things.
Interesting.
We suffer verbal attacks. Mexico has become a bottleneck where migrants get stuck, demand resources, and cause disorder in the streets.
Yeah, they did that here.
The situation is critical and Mexicans can't take it anymore. Faced with the saturation of shelters, many migrants who have arrived in Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, have chosen abandoned structures to live. What Ciudad Juarez is experiencing is truly shocking, since we are not prepared to have so many migrants here at this border. In Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, the scene is alarming. Migrants arrested for invading abandoned homes and buildings are the order of the day. A recent video shows how groups of foreigners force their way into unoccupied properties, living amidst sewage, without electricity or running water. "We survive thanks to the Mexican people, but it's difficult," says a Venezuelan immigrant in an interview while sleeping on mats surrounded by children and pets. Because the shelters are truly overwhelmed. And how do they live? How do they live? Well, they survive thanks to the Mexican people who help them a lot.
Lord, help the dogs. I don't care about these people. Help the dogs. honestly, help the dogs. You know what? I hate it for you, but y'all is going to have to do. You know what? Let me tell you something. I don't care about these people. Please hear me clearly. I don't care. We had to fight our asses off to get President Trump elected for the third time. Okay? And they stole my diamonds, and I want them back in 2028. We had to fight these demonic possessed Democrats to get Donald Trump back in office. We had to fight. You are not going to bring your sorry ass back to this country again and be a squatter here. You put nothing into this country. You put nothing into the fight to get this man put in office. You're going to need to go back to your damn country and figure out your own shit. You're not just going to come here and take what we have when we did all the work.
Local authorities such as civil protection warn of risks such as fires due to faulty wiring, but migrants ignore invitations to shelters for fear of being detained. They resorted to fighting and finally set fire to the mats again in an attempt to take over the building. 4 migrants were injured, 2 from burns and a man and a woman from beatings. In just one operation, the police and the National Migration Institute arrested dozens accused of illegal invasion, but the number continues to rise. This is not an isolated case. In states such as Chiapas and Somalia.
So they're being arrested for illegal invasion? Oh, does that sound like ICE? I have not heard one word about this from the media. Have you? Have anybody heard about any of this from the lame American media? I haven't heard one thing about this. They're arresting invaders. I can't even believe it. If we say that here, you know how many names you get called? Roll the film.
There are reports of 8,000 to 10,000 migrants scattered in similar conditions, occupying whatever they can find so as not to sleep outdoors.
I arrived at this site because the shelters were overwhelmed. We feel even more abandoned after what happened to our countrymen during migration. Now they are letting us go. They came to get us out of here. It is our obligation to remove them from this imminent risk of fire that we have here. In addition, it is a 5 or 7-story building that is already very deteriorated and very old and without safety conditions.
In Tapachula, a caravan of more than 580 migrants set out in October 2025 for Mexico City, not to cross the United States, but to stay and demand asylum. We don't want to go to the United States, they shout at the marches asking for support from Claudia Sheinbaum's government to expand the reception centers. Despite being invited to the shelters set up by the federal and municipal governments, migrants refuse for fear of being detained. The situation, Jorge, is that they continue to arrive every day by train, by road, and even by plane. And here there are no more shelters, they are saturated. They arrive at the center, the National Migration Institute, and get lost in the streets.
You reap what you sow, Mexico. You reap what you sow. We put up with this shit for years. We had open borders because you refused to stop these individuals the last 4 years. You waved them on up to the United States, and now you're stuck with them because you better not let not now one of them cross into America. Not one. Or we're going to put tariffs on your ass so hard that you ain't going to be able to see straight. Keep them broke bastards out of America. Do whatever you got to do. Not our problem. You should have done this and not let them invade your country to come here. They say they don't want to come to the United States. They absolutely do. Yes, they do. This is the crown jewel. You damn right they want to come here. They can't. Our borders, thank Christ, holy God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Our borders are hermetically sealed. Okay? They ain't getting in here. So Mexico, you're reaping what you sowed. You are getting exactly what you did to us back at you 1,000 times worse, because you can't send them nowhere. See, the more that they deport every day, the more come in, because these individuals coming from other countries are not stopping. Too bad. So sad. Your problem, not ours. Figure it out. I'm just grateful to God they ain't coming here. Do whatever you got to do, Claudia Scheinbaum. Keep them the hell out of here. We don't want them. Well, it's Friday. It's Friday. And next week, I'm sure it will be filled with more news. John Brennan's going to be indicted, if it's not already. You know, Comey has that indictment. Respucia, Letitia James, has been indicted. These people are going to start paying for their crimes, because President Trump and his cabinet, they know that if there is no accountability, these people are going to do this again. They cannot be allowed to just fade into obscurity after what they did to this country. Nah, son. What's up, Riddle Me This? Thank you for reposting the stream, my darling. How are you? You can't just get away with this. You can't just slither away and just regroup. Can't do that. Got to be held accountable. And Letitia James and these Democrats who have been, Lisa Monaco, that's another one that's coming up. James Clapper. Who else? Christopher Wray. His number is coming. Y'all destroyed this country, the greatest nation on earth. You destroyed it for your own selfish gain. And then you try to clean up your mess with the Russia bullshit. And you're still using Russia as your whipping post to make people think, actually to start World War III. But President Trump ain't falling for it. Zelensky keeps attacking Russia, and then he'll turn around and say, he hit me, when Russia retaliates. He hit me. Not going to work. He's just trying to get Tomahawk missiles. You ain't getting no Tomahawk missiles, you broke bitch. You can't afford Tomahawks. What you going to do with them? What you going to do? Sell them on the black market like you did the other weapons? Like the weapons that ended up in Afghanistan after Joe Biden surrendered Bagram Air Force Base to the Taliban and left $80 billion in military equipment there. That shit ended up on the dark web. Bradley tanks, $20. Can I get somebody to go ahead and buy it? You know, it's rocket launchers, $10. What? These people destroyed this country. They know, and they meaning the Trump administration knows that we want scalps. We want scalps. These people destroyed this country. They hunted down American citizens like runaway slaves back before the Civil War. They hunted people down. They kicked people's doors in at 4 a.m. over some garbage, over misdemeanors that they made up, which actually weren't misdemeanors, because the Park Service gave a permit for January 6th for people to come and peacefully protest. It was allowed by the Park Service. So there were no trespassers. Permits were requested and they were granted. Oh, they went into the Capitol there. They went into the Capitol. It's a tourist attraction. Of course, people went into the Capitol. The doors were open. Capitol Police escorted people in like it was a regular tour day. The videos are out. You can't gaslight anybody. They hunted people down like common terrorists, while they let actual terrorists come into this country, and they gave them Medicaid and gave them cars to do Ubers so they could make extra money, and gave them free education, free housing, free Section 8, free apartments, free hotels, free iPhones, free clothes, free furniture, free everything. You took care of the actual terrorists on the FBI's most wanted list. Y'all took care of them. You gave them free everything. But law-abiding citizens who had never had so much as a parking ticket were treated like the worst criminals in the history of mankind. Y'all need to go down for what you did. Ashley Babbitt was murdered at point blank range by a Capitol Police officer. It is on video. He was brought to, Joe Biden invited him to the White House and gave him some kind of freedom award. You dumb porch Negro. You wait till they get rid of your stupid ass. Wait till these Democrats turn their back on you. You just wait till the Democrats turn their back on you, and they will. They always do. You're just a useless idiot, like Letitia James, like Alvin Bragg, like Fannie Willis, like LaMonica McIver, like Hakeem Jeffries. All you dumb porch Negroes out there tap dancing on that plantation for your white liberal Marxist masses. They're going to turn their back on you. They're just using you for what they need you for right now, for their agenda. But they laugh at you. They laugh at your culture. They laugh at your food. They laugh at how all these dumb welfare hoes is making videos on TikTok. They laugh at you. And you betrayed your country to help push their agenda. You're stupid, every one of you. No loyalty among thieves. They will give you up in a heartbeat. Unreal. So there's a lot going on, but you know what? We'll keep you informed. I appreciate you. It is Friday night. Man, it's going to be a blessed weekend. I tell you what. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me on the Jellyroll Friday. I'll see you Monday. Y'all come on back now. Yeah, him. Thank you. Truly, thank you. I am honored that you are here. Thank you. God bless America. God bless our president, and God bless each other. Keep praying, keep praying, The prayers of the righteous availeth much, he hears.